it down. Go!
Yeah, baby! Woo! Holy tamale!
For the past 20 years, the one thing that counts most in a professional angler's career is making it to the Forrest Wood Cup.
21-year-old Jacob Wheeler, $500,000 richer.
And for the 50 anglers who made it to Hot Springs, Arkansas, to compete in bass fishing's single largest payday, it's a chance to show they are worth the title of champion. In this sport, every day you race out on the water brings a new set of challenges.
Oh, God! Oh!
And any mistake is amplified until it pounds through the entire body.
$500,000 right there.
Because every cast into the water can bring you the fish of a lifetime.
Yeah! Woo!
And every ounce can bring you closer to raising the cup high in
You
triumph.
got it by 1 ounce. Your champion is Anthony Gagliardi. Wow!
Every one of the men who earned a chance at this cup believes it can be theirs. Everything counts when $500,000 is at stake. And at the end of 4 long days in the Arkansas heat, the world will embrace a new champion.
Yes! Bam! That's what I'm talking about right there.
They're fish factories, lots of fish in Lake Ouachita. And it is just like all the other Ozark lakes to me. In the summertime, it gets really, really tough. And the later it gets in the summer, late August, man, it is tough.
This is actually the 3rd time the championship's been here. Fishing's a little off, and I think it's just based on a lot of the rain they had this spring. The lake was record high.
2 schools of thought. Do I go deep? Do I fish brush piles? Do I look for resident fish that are tight to cover? Or do I gamble and go for the nomads and just burn up a ton of bank and a ton of open water looking for schooling fish? And the schooling fish are a major game changer. Because if you hit that right school, if you get in that flurry, you go from a very small limit or no fish at all to a 14, 15, 16 pound bag.
Hammer! Ouachita bass at its finest. Do what I love.
The full field at the Forrest Wood Cup fished the first 2 days, while only the top 20 in cumulative weight move into the weekend cut. The field is cut 1 more time, and only 10 will fish the 4th and final day. One area that has seen a lot of activity is Big Blakely Creek, where Brad Knight, Mark Daniels, and Brandon Cobb have been finding a steady supply of quality keepers.
With these guys out here, they're so good at finding fish, and like that area I found, it's a couple of us in there, and if any one of us had that area, you could win this tournament.
2 1/4, 2 1/2.
On day 1, Ish Monroe and Jacob Wheeler pounded the banks looking for big topwater bites.
Wow! Woo!
On day 2, longtime veteran Ramie Colson Jr. connected with a 6-pound brute that catapulted him to the top of the leaderboard and sent him into the weekend cut.
17 pounds, 14 ounces. You are the new leader, heaviest stringer of the tournament.
When you're the Forrest Wood Cup champion that year, resume builder, $500,000 in your pocket, man, that just solidifies, I'm here to stay. You're branded.
Without a big win, you can't continue unless you're very, very consistent. This is the one win that will catapult you on to a whole different level and give you security that you don't have. It's a big, big deal.
Some of the biggest names in bass fishing made it to the weekend. Who will survive and make it to Sunday? Find out when we return. FLW is brought to you by You can get more from your oil with Quaker State. Find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for top anglers. And by Walmart, save money, live better.
In the Forrest Wood Cup, it's a double elimination tournament. What I mean by that, you go from 50 guys for the first 2 days, 20 guys on day 3, and the final 10, fishing for that championship and that cup on day 4. And when you're the day 3 leader, the pressure is insurmountable because everybody's watching.
I guess it's game time now.
You've done your job for the first 2 days. You put yourself at the top of the pack. But now, the media is on you. The spectators are following you. You might have had the first 2 days all to yourself in a quiet, peaceful cove, doing your job and just catching them. But it's game time now. Ramie Colson's pattern is real interesting. He's fishing an area where there's a major launch ramp, and he's rolling into that area. He's using his electronics to look forward, scan what's in front of him, and using Panoptics, he can see the brush piles and the wood, and he's casting to individual targets in front of him, and he's literally dissecting the back of a creek. And by dissecting it, he's throwing a worm. All these guys are throwing top water. A lot of guys are fishing schooling fish. From the start, he picks up that worm. Throwing at targets, hooking fish. The only thing he needs to worry about is not making a mistake.
The competition is stiff. I mean, you've got the best of the best here. We earned it through the year of points. We worked hard for 6 tournaments to make it to this right here. And then when you come to this tournament here and you got the best, you better be on your A game. Number 1, gotta start somewhere.
See where this sort of, there's a little flat in between this steep bank and that next steep little bank. That's where it's about to go down. Trust me.
What I like to do is start in the mornings, go to the schooling fish. Then I get to go put all my schooling rods up, pick my topwaters up, and go run the bank. That's what I love to do. That's why I made more top 10s in the last, 4 or 5 Forrest Wood Cups that I fished. I've made 3 top 10s, running down the bank, throwing topwater, and I understand that deal. I understand it. It's my little niche. I love it. Boom. Anytime that I see an opportunity to fish out and throw a topwater bait, I'm sure Zach's gonna do that.
Yeah, give me some of that. Freaking what we say we coming out there. What I tell you guys, yes. Freaking old Big showed up to play today, boys. It's about to get right. Yeah. Freaking big.
What the real deal is happening with this is the water's falling every day and it's gravitating the fish off of these flats. They're sitting up on the obvious cover. As much as the water's falling, as shallow and flat as this area is, it seems to be really affected by it. You know, a foot of water out on, on a brush pile that's 30 feet deep isn't really that big of a deal, but if you're back in 2.8 feet of water and it falls 6 inches at night, that's a major factor. That's a good one. That's a big one. As the lake's falling, I'm seeing more cover emerge, more trees and logs that are laid down on the bottom. And I'm able to go over with my graph, and stare at that and see where the bushy part of the tree or the root ball part of a tree is instead of just the whole timber part. And I mark that waypoint. Yeah. That's really been the key factor for me, I think, is marking new places every day to, to kind of get fresh fish, if you will. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Great start today. We're fishing tomorrow.
Lake Ouachita, I feel comfortable here because it compares to our lakes back home to an extent. Deep lake with a lot of timber in it, little rock, little clay, little flat points and stuff. The fish are eating small bait, so it makes them very difficult to catch. And there's some up eating brim, and that's the fish I'm targeting because I think they're easier to catch.
I don't think I'll call him today.
When you come to a lake like Ouachita in the summertime, Arkansas, clear water, you can win it deep, you could win it in the grass, you can win it up the river shallow. There's so many different ways to fish on this lake.
You can go flip, fish shallow, fish in stained water. You can go down to the clearing and fish in 20-foot deep hydrilla, or you can go fish rock piles and brush piles, and there's all type of underwater shoals. Lake Ouachita is a great lake for the Forrest Wood Cup.
This is where it gets real serious. 50 guys, now 20, 10 guys tomorrow fishing for $500,000 and Cup champion.
This is as tight a field as I've seen in a while, and it can be, anybody can win this thing, but you got to make that cut.
8 pounds and 3 ounces, 10 pounds, 8 ounces, new leader. 11 pounds and 3 ounces. You're less than a pound off the lead. The weights are stacking up. 14 pounds and 3 ounces, 14 pounds even. You're the new leader. Wow!
At the end of day 3, it was the topwater bite of Jacob Wheeler that prevailed, and he will go into the final day with a lead of less than a pound. Brad Knight, Brandon Cobb, and Mark Daniels all made the top 10, fishing in Big Blakely Creek. Can those fish hold up another day? It's the 2015 Forrest Wood Cup, the richest payday in bass fishing.
Forrest Wood Cup's the biggest tournament there is. It's something every fisherman dreams of making.
It's everybody's goal is to make the cut.
This is the culmination of hard work all season long.
We got butterflies from the beginning to the end.
I'm sick to my stomach right now because my wheels are spinning. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Just an amazing feeling to be here. You'll never experience that anywhere else.
The best experience I've had fishing.
The Super Bowl of bass fishing, man.
You got $500,000 for first place. That's just an insane amount of money.
4th day here at the Forrest Wood Cup. Sitting in 3rd place. Was leading yesterday, kind of dropped the ball a little bit, you know, a little bit behind, but that's not hard to make up on this lake.
33 years of age is just things dreams are made of, you know, and think about doing it, catching a bass, something I did as a kid in a pond. You know, it's hard to even wrap your head around, but I've focused, you know, 15 years of my life to get to this point, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and capitalize.
You know, the possibility of being a 2-time winner is, you know, there's definitely some nerves there, but truthfully, I miss going fishing. I love what I do. I get to come out here and fish for a living. These are a lot of people's dreams, and for me to be able to do this for a living and go out here, get to throw a topwater on the bank, fish for some of my favorite techniques, you can't ask for anything more.
It's where the rubber meets the road right here. You know, it's all fun and games sitting around up there, drinking coffee, eating donuts, hanging out with the fans. But this is about to get serious right here.
I feel like I need to catch 5 giant bass to win this event, and the things I've been fishing, I don't feel like 5 giant bass live there. So I'm gonna have to run a lot of new water today and try to find them.
The most important time has been very early. I mean, I've been getting, I didn't get any early the first day, but yesterday and the day before I caught good quality fish early. So this first hour is pretty crucial to me.
So this is my starting spot. They're already busting here. There's big ones here. If I can get 5 of these puppies in the boat, I'll have 17 to 18 pounds.
It has to be thousands of fish in here.
Got him. That was the keeper. Stay out of the trees. You don't want them to jump, but you don't want them to go down the trees either.
I had to keep him up. I could see trees all up under him. That was a keeper.
Just trying to figure out how to get these fish to bite. You know, it's really hard to get these fish to bite when they're down. They're so keyed in on that bait, they're just following it. And so it's not that big an area, but you'd be surprised when you get down there. It doesn't look like it's all that much, but there's trees everywhere. They could be anywhere. And normally the big ones have been over on that point, but I caught a couple good ones over in this area too. So you just sort of have to wait and see
where the bait activity. I seen the bait was way out there this morning. I wish if it starts coming back up in here, we'll be all right. That's a keeper. Caught that fish when he was down, so that's a good deal. They were down, they weren't biting. We're gonna catch them. It's all about patience. All about patience, y'all. Just took some drag. Hey, buddy. First fish of the morning. Whew, take some pressure off us. He got it too, he wasn't coming off.
Been catching them early. It seems like kind of on the outside of some of these trees where they're kind of set up to in more of a feeding mode on these trees. I did a couple of the good ones. Didn't get anything on the outside, so I got a big stick out. I put a beaver style bait in my hand. It's not anything I've been doing all week. It's all about making those adjustments on the fly and adapting to the conditions. So what's happening also, each day the water clarity kind of changes, and you've got water that keeps falling and it's exposing new targets that I can start seeing every day. I'd say you make decisions right there, baby. Pick a rod up you ain't caught a keeper on all week on Forrest Wood Cup. Bust out number one and it'll be a good one.
Just trying to find a bite, you know.
There's just not a whole lot of fish up, so you're better off just running new water.
It's a timing deal and a waiting game, and if you're there at the right time, make the right cast.
Oh, that is not good. Got caught in the net. That was a foul right there. That was my fault.
Oh, it's a giant, dude. It's a giant. It's a real big fish. Yes. Yes. That's the size fish that are here, and they're bigger than this, actually. This is a good one. But they get bigger. They get bigger. What's up, boys? That's what I'm talking about. I gotta hurry. I don't have time to talk. There's my first one. We got 4 more to go.
The morning bite is on here at Lake Ouachita as Jacob Wheeler and Brad Knight stay neck and neck on the leaderboard. There are storms coming, however, and that will change the game for everyone. It's the 2015 Forrest Wood Cup presented by Walmart.
4 years in a row I've been in the top 10 in the championship and yet to win it.
I got Rookie of the Year, which was my main goal this year. You only get one shot at it. To win this as a rookie would just be unbelievable.
Come on, baby, get in there. That's the kind of bites, baby, that you beg for on day 4 of the Forrest Wood Cup. We're gonna make old Wheeler a little bit nervous when we come way in time.
You just need 15 minutes. 15 minutes for things to go down. 2 or 3 bites, so those right bites, 3-pounders, and you're golden.
Fishing on the final day of the Forrest Wood Cup is a big opportunity for a professional angler. It's important to fish clean and avoid mistakes. Brandon Cobb has already lost 2 at the boat this morning.
That's a big one. Don't come on. Oh yeah, he did good. I only got a 6-pound test. Went in a tree. That was 3.5. Went in a tree. Sawed it off on a tree. I was trying to keep him up. I could feel him going into it. That one hurt. That's 2 2-pounders and a 3 to 3.5 I've lost. Can't do that and win.
If Cobb had landed those 3, he'd be in 3rd place right now instead of 6th.
Missed it. I don't know if that's a big one or not. I think it's a little one. He might keep. Yeah, he'll keep. Don't do that. Look at that, I landed one. I don't think I could have helped but landed him. Look at that. I don't think I could have lost him. That's the way I need him to eat it.
Okay, there's some busting again over there. I don't know where to go. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Oh, look at them under the boat. I don't even want to move right now. Those are off bass. One hit it. One hit it. Why do you miss it? There he is. There he is. Oh, it's a big one, dude. Oh my gosh, it's a big fish. Oh my gosh, it's a big one, dude. It's a 4-pounder.
Yeah! Woo!
That is what paying attention gets you right there. Hadn't fished this spot all week, just been looking around the whole time, and boom, these are the fish that win the Forrest Wood Cup.
See that big old bolt of lightning just now? Whew. I don't like messing with that stuff, it's scary. A lot of what's happening is up and down these banks, you've got these wolf packs of fish, and they're swimming up and down the banks really, really fast, just trying to attack an ambush bluegill. And if you can cross your bait in their path, then you can get a couple of bites, but it's just all such a timing deal. If you can cross them up, you're gonna catch one of them or two, and but you can go out there and spend a long time and never even get around one. So I feel good about it. Got a good area. Just need a couple of good ones to bite me and we'll be right there. That's a good one. That's a big one, dude. Get in the net. Number 3, baby. Decent fish, light line. Have me wrapped up for a second. You kind of see him, comes out and jumps around. If that doesn't make your heart beat out of your chest on day 4 of the Forrest Wood Cup for $500,000, you're in the wrong deal. You need to play golf.
Here it is, almost 9 o'clock. We got a storm not far from here right now. Thought we'd try to get as much of it fished before it got too bad, and then as you hear.
I want to win this tournament bad, but I got nothing I want to do about getting struck by lightning. Rain, I don't mind. Wind, that's fine. You got lightning popping 200-300 yards from you, it's time to seek shelter.
I've never been able to fish in lightning. When it starts lightning, I'm gonna get under a bridge or a boat dock or something.
Kind of switched up, just went to top water because it's just pouring down rain. There's really nothing else you can do.
Ramie Colson Jr. decides to keep after it, rain or no rain, hoping to get on the board. This keeper helps to fire up the longtime veteran. Ramie held the lead to start day 3 and would like nothing more than to get it back. He needed this one to gain on Brad Knight.
Ouachita is one unbelievable fishery. But in August, I don't care where you go, it's gonna be tough. And this is really a tough event because you have some fish deep, a lot of the fish are deep, but the ones that are biting for the majority are shallow. And so that's the tough thing is constantly going down the bank looking for 5 bites. You might only get 5 bites throughout the day. When you get those bites, you better capitalize on them, because if you don't, that might be the ball game over.
That's all I got so far, and I caught that sucker. Whew. That'll be good. Shoot, catch any keeper right now. Gosh dang. Sucker smoked it too. It's good. Number 2, boys. Number 2. It's all about momentum. A little fish like that can swing your momentum in a big way.
This is actually the 3rd time the championship's been here, and the 3rd time I've fished the championship here, so I kind of knew what to expect. I mean, it's a pretty good hot water lake. I mean, you're in August, it's the toughest time of year to catch a fish possible. And it's a pretty good lake for this time of year, running shallow topwater patterns and stuff like that I like to do. I got a hook point. He's little, but I've hook point. That's right. Finally scored. 10 after 10, finally got the first bite. Got one in the boat. Not much, but during a thunderstorm, I'll take it.
Brian Thrift has made the top 10 of the Forrest Wood Cup 4 years in a row, and Scott Martin won it here back in 2011. Jacob Wheeler is also a former Cup champion. It's among these elite competitors that Brad Knight now finds himself leading. It's only his second appearance at the Cup, and the Tennessee angler is fired up.
Big one.
That one helps the cause a little bit more than that last one.
We got to hurry. Lightning's coming, raining, and they're biting.
Number 2, not a big one. Gotta try to get 5 somewhere though.
Welcome back to the final day of the 2015 Forrest Wood Cup presented by Walmart. Big Blakely Creek on Lake Ouachita has been seeing a lot of action this morning.
Number 4, starting to heat up a little.
Brad Knight is feeling good as he nears his 5 bass limit. Jacob Wheeler has relied on a topwater bite over the last 3 days, and so far, that has not produced for him. There's a few patterns going on among the top 10. One of the legends in the sport is Larry Nixon, and on this final day, he's doing what he likes to do, connect with a big bite.
Holy moly.
This a big one. I mean a big one.
I know where the quality fish are. They're out on them grass tips. It needs to be grass involved. I can't catch anything out of brush piles, but they're right on them extreme ends where there's deep water. That's where they spend the night, and then they go off out there and suspend during the day, and that's why we're having to struggle to catch bigger fish down on this low end.
Yippee! Look at that mama. That is a stud. Check him out.
I feel like I'm doing the right thing to get a big bite, but it's just not happening. I'm just not getting any bites now. It can happen quick. Come on. I expected it to be a little bit easier shallow fishing. You know, I started off running some topwater stuff, and I expected to get some easy fish doing that early, but it hadn't been working, and I've had to run up the river, and I got a little place. There's a good. Hold on, baby. Get in here. That's a little better. It took long enough, didn't it? I mean, it ain't what I need, but not a bad fish.
I've got a limit placed that I'm pretty sure I can catch a small limit, and then I'm going to the bank and I'm gonna put my trolling motor on high and I'm gonna throw a big topwater bait, throw a Demiki Rambler, and cover as much water as I can and hope I run across a couple of big ones. And that's the only chance I've got to win this event. The thing about fishing this time of year, the bites are so critical and so crucial that you get all your bites in the boat.
I got another one.
That's the dangers of throwing topwater. Fish miss it or they don't hook up good.
Everything's out of commission right now and they biting. No time to retie. We got to keep throwing.
It's frustrating, but it's awesome at the same time.
What I did all the practice. The whole 3rd day, I'd done nothing but look for brush back up in these ditches and creeks, and anything I could find that had any definition to it. May not be much, it may not be but a 5-gallon bucket sized pile, but as long as you got something down there, you got a chance to catch fish around it. I'm basically fishing this lake just like I would my own lake at home, you know, in Kentucky or Barkley. I think you got fish kind of in transition. You got fish that's kind of wanting to do the fall deal, that's starting it, and you got some fish that's still doing the summertime deal. So that's why you got a little bit of a topwater bite. Some are fishing topwater, and that's why you got a little bit of a structure bite out deep if you like to fish, you know, that away. That's a little better.
When you got that many fish schooling and you're in that much of a rush trying to catch as many as you can, you tend to make mistakes. Like, you're trying to rush so bad when it makes it hard to fish clean, really. Like losing that fish in the trees, there's nothing I could have done there. But having one jump off and getting the one hung in the net, all that is simply is rushing, trying to get back out there to catch another one. and you're better off taking your time. And I got caught up in the schooling fish and really just got too anxious to catch 5, not just catch 1 at a time.
Get off that tree.
Get the boat. Decent one. He's round. Ate the horny toad. Fat. Good one. Take a couple more like him.
Tough day, boys. Tough day in the neighborhood. Gotta grind on them. This is the thing. In the Forrest Wood Cup, it's in August. Shallow fish are not gonna hold up. They're not gonna replenish that great. You have to have new water every single day, and you have to find another area. I didn't have enough to win this tournament going into the event. There's no way. But now that I've ran around, fished the whole lake, I feel like I have enough that if things can go together, you know, we can make it happen. One glimmer of hope. We just need a little bit of momentum. Just give me one glimmer of hope. We'll roll out of here. There'll be nothing more that I'd like to be the first 2-time winner of the Forrest Wood Cup. But if it's gonna happen, it'll just happen. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. She's not even gonna keep. I don't think, hold up. See if this one keeps. He might keep. 13-incher, number 3. We don't have big ones, but we're chipping away at them. We're chipping away at them.
Let's get after it. This is where I start making adjustments, start fishing the conditions. That's what it's about.
You have to be versatile. You know, fishing in the summer, water temperatures are hot, you have storms, some days it's real sunny, like today it rained. You know, there's all these different condition changes, and the fish change all the time as well. And that's the key. Read the lake, know what you need to do for that given time, and go with it.
Sometimes it's just a spur of the moment little, I feel like I need to go in here. It has a bunch of little pockets, and it's a lot of flat ground. Bluegill like that. There he is. That's a good one, dude. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Just spur of the moment. Said I was going up the river. Literally looked at the map and saw a bunch of little pockets. I said, nice fish. That's what I'm talking about, instincts. Just fish the conditions. That's what you do to win the Forrest Wood Cup.
Scott Martin knows how much confidence can play a factor in this sport. It's the 2015 Forrest Wood Cup, presented by Walmart. FLW is brought to you by Always Smooth, Keystone Light Beer, the only beer of FLW. Rayovac, power for the always on you. Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime. BRP Evinrude, experience the power of choice at ChooseYourEtech.com. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. And by Igloo, get out, stay out.
He's got a great big old head on him. See ya. Yeah, there is. Oh, and he come off.
Check that out, baby.
Get in the boat, baby. Boom! Number 5.
Lake Ouachita in Hot Springs, Arkansas is where these 10 men have been searching for their best 5 bass. Only one angler will win the coveted title of Forrest Wood Cup Champion. With little time left, the tournament becomes a different game, one of mental toughness and the power of belief.
We can get 3 bites, 2 or 3 good bites. We're gonna have a really good shot at this thing. We're definitely not out of it. We just gotta catch us a few bass, find us a few areas. 15 minutes is all we need. 15 minutes of that good stretch, and it could be over.
Really getting down to crunch time. It could happen though. I could catch 2 more right here. I'm fishing right here on this point, or it's a little underwater island, looks like. It runs out here and makes a point out here. You got 30 foot of water all the way around it. Brush piles are down there fairly deep, anywhere from 15 to 20 foot, just scattered around this corner right here. And it's fairly shallow up on top of it. Summertime fishing in the South is tough in August. The way I approach it is you gotta fish slow and you know, really bear down on what you're fishing, whether it be a brush pile. I mean, you just take your time, methodically fish it. I throw a little bit of top water, but you know, not really doing the top water deal, just basically fishing how I feel comfortable with fishing. Oh yeah. To win the Forrest Wood Cup. I would love to win it more than any one of them out there. Of course, I know they'd say the same thing, but it would just mean the world to me to win it.
I got 4 decent fish and 1 small one, so I need to get rid of 1 more with a big kicker fish. I'm just running new water right now. Pretty much been keeping the trolling motor on high speed and going down the bank throwing a horny toad, looking for about falling out the boat in the trees. Looking for scattered grass and trying to cover as much water as I can. That's a good one. No, it's not. We'll call that one after the other. That's the way I like it. Good call.
Yeah, we got 55 minutes and still looking for 1 bite. We've been looking for 1 bite for the last 4 hours.
Dude, I've never been in here in my life. I don't even know where we are. I'm literally just running down the lake and I'm just looking at the map. It just looked good. It's just a main creek. It's got a lot of ins and outs, and that's what you want. You want a lot of little points. You know, you get a creek that's all good and straight, it's not that productive. You get a creek with a bunch of little clover leaves and ins and outs. There's a lot of targets to fish. And that's what attracted me to this right here. I was going up the river. Literally, spur of the moment decision. Yes! Bam! That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making decisions on the fly. Yes! I'm talking about staying patient. I'm talking about fishing the conditions and staying patient. That's how you catch fish. Because the Forrest Wood Cup, baby, is a lot of pressure. Yes! Woo! Wheeler, it might not be a big one, dude. But let me tell you something. I got a 55-gallon drum of confidence right now. You better watch out.
These are the conditions I needed all day. A little bit of sun and wind. We got 20 minutes to make it happen though.
You know, I don't have a great big bag by any stretch of the means, but I haven't just left the door open too bad either. So I think I was like a several pound lead over third. It's gonna come down to a race between Wheeler and I and Ramie. There he is. Dude, we've been talking about it, and the reaction bite happens, baby. Oh yeah, it's a good call.
Stay tuned and find out if Brad Knight has enough weight to become the next Forrest Wood Cup champion. It's time to see how the latest chapter in bass fishing history unfolds. For 20 seasons, the Forrest Wood Cup has represented a career-defining moment, a chance to prove who is the best angler for the year, and a chance to join the club of past winners and be known forever as a champion. The excitement is at an all-time high.
Whoa! Look at this crowd, man!
Crowd's awesome, dude.
This is amazing, man. Look at that, all the way up. Hey!
Bass fishing central right here. Hot Springs, you ready to crown 2015 Forrest Wood Cup Champion. $500,000 on the line, man.
$500 million and the title as the Forrest Wood Cup Champion. This is it, man. You put that on your resume, one of these guys, it solidifies him as an angler and makes a young man's dream a reality, and that guy now has that title of this year's 20th anniversary Forrest Wood Cup Champion.
Woo! 12 pounds and 6 ounces. Let's see your two best bass.
Rookie of the Year Zach Burge is the first to weigh out, along with Mark Daniels Jr., as well as Ranger Pro Chris Baumgartner, who missed a key bite today. But when the General gets to the stage, the crowd gets fired up.
12 pounds even. Wow!
It was not Brian Thrift's time to win after yet another top 10 at the Cup. Scott Martin was fired up all day, and he brought a good bag to the scales.
12 pounds, 8 ounces. Let's see some fish.
I've been to 15 Forrest Wood Cups. And Hot Springs, you guys rock.
Brandon Cobb, 25 top 10s in a very young career. He's only 25 years old. To dethrone Scott Martin, reigning Angler of the Year, you just need 10 pounds, 7 ounces. 5 today. Worth, new leader. 12 pounds and 14 ounces, 47 pounds and 11 ounces. He's weighed in the heaviest stringer of this tournament, over 17 pounds for a 5-fish limit on day 2. How many fish do you have in there?
I don't have a 4.
New leader. 10 pounds, 4 ounces. You take the lead by 2 ounces. If everything that we were reading and watching on FLWfishing.com is true, then you're getting ready to put a charge into this weigh-in, man. Brad Knight, fishing his second Forrest Wood Cup. 14 pounds and 4 ounces on day 1 was a great start. 14 pounds on day 2, steady. And then 12-1 yesterday had you sitting in second place. There was only one guy in front of you, and he had the lead over you by 12 ounces. To take the lead from Ramie Colson Jr., you need 7 pounds and 8 ounces. 5 today, worth 11 pounds and 7 ounces. You're the new leader. Jacob Wheeler, former Cup champion, bass fishing millionaire. You had 16 pounds and 2 ounces on day 1. 10 pounds and 15 ounces on day 2. 14 pounds even yesterday. Had you in first place by 12 ounces over Brad Knight. You need just 10 pounds and 11 ounces to repeat and make history. He has 3 today, worth 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Your Forrest Wood Cup champion is Brad Knight of Lansing, Tennessee. Wow!
I started in this area because it was the only place that I thought I could go and even get a bite that would be a keeper. So went back every day and I put my trolling motor down and just have to figure out, you know, what I had to do to make the right adjustments to win the tournament. And each day was just a little bit different. And you know, it fished a lot like what I look for back home this time of year. You know, for dirty water in the back of a creek, had some log jams and stuff in it, and had just a ton of fish evidently. I was really nervous today because I didn't have a big bite. Each day I was kind of getting a good fish, and I really thought I'd left the door open for, you know, somebody to catch one of those 14, 15-pound bags that we were seeing every day. This is stuff I've dreamed about for 15 years, to be standing on this stage. If I'm dreaming, nobody wake me up is all I can say. Wow.
Your new Forrest Wood Cup champion, Brad Knight.